All right, so today we're going to practice dividing decimals. So first, let's set it up like a normal division problem. The only difference when dividing decimals is before I begin, I'm going to move my decimal up to the top, and that is where my decimal is going to stay. Then I can divide it normally. So first I need to see how many times 5 goes into 9. Well, I know that 5 times 1 gives me 5. So it would go into 9 one time. Then I need to subtract 9 minus 5, which I get 4. Okay, now my next step is I need to bring down my 1. And now I need to see how many times 5 goes into 41 without going over. Well, I know that 5 times 8 is 40, and that's as close as I can get without going over. 41 minus 40 is just 1. Then I bring down my next number, and I have a 4. Well, I know that 5 goes into 14 2 times, because 5 times 10 gets me as close as I can to 14 without going over. Then I would do 14 minus 10, which is just 4. Finally, I bring down my 0, and I have 40. Well, I know this one. 5 times 8 gives me 40. And when I do 40 minus 40, I have 0, which means I am done. So my answer would be 18 and 28 thousandths. Next, I have 210 and 6 tenths divided by 9. Remember my first step, always bring the decimal up. All right, first, can 9 go into 2? No, I know that. So I need to put a 0 up here to know that 9 can go into 2 0 times. It doesn't work. Then I'm going to move over. 9, how many times can 9 go into 21? Well, let's see, how close can I get on my fingers without going over? Okay, let's see. If I put this finger down, I get 1, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 18 is pretty close to 21, and that was my second finger down. So that means 9 times 2 would give me 18. Then I would subtract. Well, I can't do 1 minus 8, so I need to borrow from the 2 and make it a 1. This will become 11. 11 minus 8 is 3. 1 minus 1 is 0, so I have 3 left. So I carry down my 0. Now I have to see how many times 9 goes into 30. Well, look at my fingers. If I put down this finger, my second finger, I get 27. Well, that's pretty close to 30. So I'm going to put 3 up here, because 9 times 3 is 27. Then again, I'm going to subtract. 0 can't do minus 7, so I'm going to go next door and borrow, make this a 2. This becomes 10. 10 minus 7 is 3. 2 minus 2 is 0. Finally, I bring down my 6. How many times 9 can go into 36? That is 4 times, because 9 times 4 is 36. And then I get 0 remaining, so my answer is 23 and 4 tenths. All right, let's look at the next one. Now this one we have a little bit of an issue. We have a decimal on the outside in the divisor. What do we do with that? So what we need to do is we need to swoop this over to make this a whole number and make it 4. Now whatever we do to the outside, we have to do to the inside. Meaning I'm going to swoop my decimal over here after the 8 before I bring it up to up here. Okay, then I can solve it like normal. Well, 4 can't go into 3, so I got to put a 0 up here. Then I look at 37. How many times can 4 go into 37? Well, I just was talking about the fact that 4 times 9 gives me 36. Okay, then I do 37 minus 36, which is 1. Carry down my 8. How many times does 4 go into 18? Well, I know 4 times 4 gives me 16. 8 minus 6 is 2. Carry down my 0. And finally, how many times 4 goes into 20? Well, I know 4 times 5 gives me 20. 20 minus 20 is 0, so my answer is 94 and 5 tenths. All right, my last one. I have 82 and 10 hundredths divided by 0 and 5 tenths. Now, once again, I have my decimal on the outside, so I need to swoop it in. And whatever I do to the outside, I gotta do to the inside. And then bring it up. So I look, how many times does 5 go into 8? Well, 5 goes into 8 one time. 5 times 1 is 5. 8 minus 5 is 3. Carry down the 2. How many times does 5 go into 32? Well, it goes into it 6 times, because 5 times 6 is 30. 32 minus 30 is 2. Carry down the 1. Now, how many times does 5 go into 21? Well, I know that 5 goes into 21 4 times, because 5 times 4 is 20. Finally, I do 21 minus 20, which is 1. Carry down my final problem, which is the 0. How many times 5 goes into 10, which we know is 2, because 5 times 2 is 10. 10 minus 10 is 0, meaning my answer is 164 and 2 tenths.